last year, I decided to try and find more books with an older female protagonist. Books in the genre that I love to read, which is fantasy. I love those epic fantasy books where there's adventures and magic and realms and just different worlds to dive into and get to know these magical places. The problem is there was very little reflecting what I was looking for in life as a protagonist. I am in my 50s now, and the books either had men, classic, or they had young children. There's a lot more great teen adventures with young women. I love great coming of age stories, but I'm not a teenager anymore. So I was looking for some representation of what I see at this point in life, looking for some wise women. And so we started the Wise Woman's Fantasy Book Club. So far we've read 5 books. The first one was Magical Midlife Madness, and it's a great, fun, quick read with a low fantasy setting, you know, kind of modern times, and an empty nest mother who just got divorced and starts completely from scratch all on her own, moves into a magical house, and mayhem begins. The second book we read was The Sword of Kaigan, which is total flip side of that. We are talking epic fantasy, kind of a historical fantasy, heavy, really, really emotional. If you want to cry, read this book. The third one we read was Weird Sisters, which is a Terry Pratchett book. So many little just jibes and wordplay, super fun read, but a bit exhausting in my opinion. Fourth, we read When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill, and that was, again, pretty emotional. The main character, it was a bit off. She was a little bit younger. She was telling the story from a wise woman's perspective, like looking back at her childhood, but it was a bit about the story of her youth. So a bit of a stretch there, but it was a great read. This month we're reading The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi. This book club is welcome to anyone who wants to join and read more fantasy fiction with older female protagonists, looking for books where the people make choices with wisdom and patience. We are reading one a month. We're on Fable and we are on Discord. I did try to make a Facebook group, but it's not very active. So you can find us there, but there's not much going on yet. All right, we'd love to have you if you're interested.